were you not, on a gay cruise.
No, you're 120% dick pic.
Everybody that age, they're sperminator.
Yeah.
We don't care about anything else. We're walking hard on looking for a hole.
That's. I have to say you're right on that one. Oh my God.
A stiff breeze comes through the room and you return the favor.
Gonorrhea. Oh. Somewhere on the outside of this building, there is a hole where squirrels come in.
Better than a hole where dicks come in.
Yeah, better than that.
Going down the stairs to wash the laundry. What the hell? Shh. Pizza. Stop! Stop it now! I order you to stop! I'm still touching myself.
Yeah!
All young bitches want to do is pop pills, smoke weed, get drunk, lay around, suck dick, eat hot Cheetos, charge their phone, get a sew and weave, twerk, be bisexual, eat McDonald's, wash they pussy in the sink, lie, take selfies, and talk shit through Wi-Fi because they phone never on.
I think washing they pussy in the sink is my favorite part. The Vietnamese trade in dongs. Figuratively and literally, I'm sure.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I did decide to look it up. 500,000 dongs is a good night for Pop's ex.
Like most women, he's an emotional thinker.
Good God.
I mean, that's part of the problem we're having now in our society is we have a bunch of emotional thinkers that want the world to, to fall in line with their emotions. That's not... look, reality doesn't give a shit about emotions.
It's my lived truth. Fuck your lived truth.
No, it's not. It's your perspective.
Kiss my ass.
Literally like, hey, Sergeant Pop, you got to turn your bear suit. I'm like, over my dead body. No. Just give me a statement of charges. Yeah. You're never getting this back. Yeah. You can suck it.
I'm going to wear this with my Russian faggot coat.
you will bury me in this. Hey! Why you gotta fucking be like that, man?
Because I'm an asshole, and I learned from the best. I'm sitting across from him, and I'm pointing at you with all four fingers.
All right, first of all, the Russian jacket is World War II surplus.
I'll send you a picture of it, Sarge.
Yeah, okay.
I got you standing wearing it with holding two giant buckets like you just collected all the chum from behind the dump dumpster at the bar, and you're going to go home and make ice cream out of it.
It's on you.
Why is it on me, though?
I don't know.
Why is it on me? I don't know. There we go. We've got the cameras mixed up. Wait for it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a really fun Grunt Speak tonight because our usual button-pushing evil monkey is not here.
Yeah.
So I am here to fuck up all of the controls for you.
We're going to fuck it all up. All right, today's show, listen, we already saw what's taken place. We have a whole goddamn bridge knocked down in Baltimore. And this show is about Black Swan events. Now, I want to give a thank you to all the supporters who were on Sunday. we put together one hell of a list of possible black swan events that we may or may not see in the next year. Now, one of the main reasons that I think this is going to happen, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Wait,
but
you keep talking. I know what to do. Just keep talking.
The dictator-in-chief that we have is, let's face it, he is not going to get reelected. Nobody wants the VP. So this is just a suspicion that they want to start something so they don't have to have an election because they know they're not going to win, barring any unforeseen super secret squirrel cheating, kind of like the last, installment of the dictator-in-chief that we have now. But it is what it is. So are you still trying to unfuck the whole thing?
I did not unfuck it. I thought I could unfuck it.
All right, don't worry about it.
Continue. We're fine.
Let's just let's start off with the ship thing. Pull that up.
All
right, so you go down to present.
No, I know that. I know that. I accidentally turned that off too. I'm having one of those days. Leave me the fuck alone.
All right, these things happen.
It's going to be one of those days. So what we're covering, hey, let's go to CNN first and see what they're saying. Coast Guard has ended the search and rescue operations for 6 people who were on the Francis Scott Key Bridge when it collapsed. So for those of you who don't get quite what Boston Harbor is, it's one of our key ports. It is one of the most important ports in the country, and it's also one of the most historic. And it's important for more than just the traffic. It is like a symbol of the United States and its shipping power since the dawn of the country. That harbor has been important. Now, the bridge, as I understand it, the Key Bridge, was only built in the 1970s. It's not that old of a bridge, but they built it over the mouth of the harbor, which in my opinion, I don't care how you look at it, is a really bad idea because as former soft guys, Pop, what's one of the first things we want to do when we've got a harbor like that?
You want to choke it up and make it useless.
Yeah. And a bridge hanging right over the mouth of the harbor?
Yeah, I know. No, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong with that? That's beautiful. So here's the thing, though. Both of us have been looking at this for a long time today, and I particularly like conditions have made it dangerous for first responders and divers to be in the water, and then the accompanying picture. I'll leave it there.
Yep. I gotcha.
2 people were pulled from the Potomac River after the collapse. If any of you saw that bridge collapsing, there were cars. I counted at least 4 that went into the drink. How terrifying that would be.
Now, just because it happened doesn't mean it was intentional. All right, that's
where we're going.
Like Murphy is an asshole. It is what it is. All right, the United States has a lot of red tape and oversight for most of the stuff that we do here, and in my opinion, it's too much. Other countries don't do that shit at all. So we don't know the actual condition of that freighter, if it was up to U.S. code standards or not. There was, 2 or 3 May days that were released. You saw the ship lose power on and off. I think that was 2 or 3 times. And then you get what you get. Now, let's be honest. The infrastructure of this country is fucked. I wish there was a word more egregious than that word, but that's the only one I could use. We have bridges, overpasses, roads, buildings literally rotting away, and we're wasting our tax dollars to give, debit cards and room and board to a bunch of illegals that have come across the border. They're literally siphoning off the resources we could use for our own homeless and our infrastructure. But the dictator-in-chief, in my opinion, has been bought off, because I watched those testimonies online. And what's that guy's name? Barbarino or whatever?
I don't No,
I don't remember his name.
I haven't been watching a lot of those. There are other things that I'm focused on.
He was literally in the room when some of these deals were taking place.
Yeah.
All right. It
That-
is
that I
so
know.
fucking obvious. All right. I have to cut down on the swearing. All right. I'm just getting spun up because I love this country, and it just breaks my heart to see what's happening. Okay. So let's go into more detail with this whole
Well, first of all, let's go into the ship itself. This cargo ship has been around for a minute. It was rolling under the Maersk company, which is one of the biggest seagoing companies out there, all the big cargo ships. Most of those are Maersk. I got a guy who's an engineer and a pretty good friend of mine. He goes by Shiba Rista. Maersk Synergy Group Grace Ocean is the contractor, operator, and owner of this ship. Now, it was apparently under a Singaporean flag.
All right.
The ship itself was built in Korea. Let me go through the specs real quick. The ship itself was built in Korea because Norway and United States, which were the big shipbuilders, no longer build ships anymore. They don't. We don't build any of the damn ships anymore.
Okay.
And it was a crew of Indians with a Ukrainian captain. Now, Shiba went and I'm right. What's going on here? Anyway, this vessel, once it hit that pylon, I said, what's going to happen now is lawyer battle.
Yes.
They're going to call up the brigades of lawyers.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened almost instantly. And that Ukrainian captain has been removed from the shipping company's website. He's gone. They're going to memory hole that SOB as fast as they can and start blaming it on technical stuff. Oh, the widget didn't thrombulate at the correct time. And it caused the ship to blah.
Do you have a recording of the last transmission?
I'll see if I can find it, but where did that go?
Yeah, listen, you're not going to get this. We're literally covering this. I don't think the details have been released by the big mainstream media.
Okay. So I'm going to just put my mic close to my phone here. This is a recording of the last moments before the ship hit the pylon.
Why are you shouting? Because of this, you are doing. Hello. I don't know. You are doing like this. I think you are going to accident. No, shouting at me. No, shout at you. But the thing is that, what you think if you do like this one, you are going at work and somebody else. But that's like funny. You running like that one. You cannot. You are fucking you. You bastard. You bastard. You. Bloody fuck you, bloody. Fucking mother, bloody fuck bitch.
And as you can see, this did not end well.
No, it did not end well.
That, of course, is a satirical take on what happened to the.
Of course, it's not real.
The internet, being the wonderful place that it is, produced that in way less time than it took any of the actual investigators to get to the scene of the actual accident, because the internet is so glorious at producing things.
Yes. Oh my God. There's so many evil geniuses out there. God bless all your hearts. That was pretty good. Now I'm not laughing at the death and destruction. I'm not. What I'm doing here is applying some humor to a very, very bad situation. I'm basically falling back on my military graveyard humor to protect me from the insanity and stupidity that I just saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a good shot of the ship and its current.
All right. First of all, can you fit any more shit on that goddamn boat?
That's what these do. This is their only purpose.
Damn.
Their only purpose is to stack fat cargo stacks and go in a straight line. That is the only thing these things do.
Well,
and some of the deep sea footage of these vessels out there with these stacks like this is incredible. I can't imagine being on one of these things. The bunkers for their fuel act as a ballast so that this whole thing doesn't flip over. I personally don't understand the engineering here. I have no idea how that engineering.
Well, you're not a math guy, you're a language guy.
I am a language guy. I am not a math guy. So here's the thing about this bridge, though, that isn't being talked about a lot. And I caught a clip of this morning. The Baltimore area and apparently the New England area has a law or regulation where you cannot ship gas, flammables, or explosives through tunnels. And this bridge was the only way to move a lot of that stuff for the Baltimore area.
So what you're trying to say here is they're FUCKED.
I am trying to say that they are about to have surprise butt sex.
Yes. They are going to get fornicated
Yes.
because they're going to have a hard time getting their liquid propane, gasoline, oil, any of that stuff. Anything that could go boom or catch on fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all kinds of chemicals used in painting,
Mm-hmm.
all of that kind of stuff. Now, the internet immediately went berserk with conspiracy theories about this. And I personally think there are a couple of factors here. First of all, it happened at 1:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody on that bridge, relatively speaking.
Well, the
That is a
number
very high traffic bridge.
I think that they're actually going to find somewhere between 28 and 32 people dead, in my opinion. I could be wrong.
Bro, 10,000 people a half hour cross that bridge when it's busy. If I'm going to take that bridge out, I'm not going to steer it into the pylon.
At 1:30 in the morning.
At 1:30 in the morning. Two, the damage to those ships. A ship like that costs money. And to dry dock a ship like that, to make the repairs, is going to cost money.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, how old is that ship? When was it?
I didn't find a record for the ship. I didn't look for the ship itself, but this particular ship has a history of incidents.
Okay.
A history of incidents. This thing has run into walls in the ports at Amsterdam. It has veered out of the shipping lanes in some of the areas that it was. Shipping lanes are a set thing, first of all. And a lot of them have been around for thousands of years. Some of those shipping lanes are 2,000, 3,000 years old.
Because they work.
Yep. Exactly. And veering out of a shipping lane as a commercial freighter today is a big deal. There's a maritime law out there for all of that stuff. At any rate, this guy hit the pylon, and now you've got all the insurance companies involved. The insurance companies in the harbor, ports basically have their own little governments, starting with the harbor master, and then they'll have a board, and then they'll have the union workers and everybody else, and it's its own little ecosystem. These little micro governments have brigades of lawyers.
Yeah. Say that again.
Brigades of lawyers.
Of lawyers.
Let me explain what I mean. The firm that I worked at when my boss was Mark Dreyer, who was arrested, look up Mark Dreyer. That's a lot of fun. Embezzled $440 billion. When they got a corporate case, it would be 2, 3, 4 partners that bill anywhere between $600 and $1,000 an hour. And they bill in 6-minute increments, by the way.
Wow.
With a brigade of anywhere between 10 to 30 associate attorneys, which are basically the worker bee attorneys trying to get to their partnership. And that was for a single case.
Yeah.
Something like this, you're probably going to have 150 lawyers involved.
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't even know what the price is to rebuild this bridge.
Well, they've already said the federal government is going to do it. So whatever the price is, it's coming out of your ass and mine.
Yeah.
Per usual.
Yeah. This is some bullshit right here.
Yeah.
All right. Now, in my opinion, if you have a ship or a company that has a history of this kind of shit, they should be banned from actually working here around this country.
It apparently is this one ship.
But see, it's run by a company.
Yeah.
You don't just punish one ship. You punish the whole fucking company for this.
In this case, I would agree with you. I very much.
Especially if there's 30 fucking people who died because of this. Yeah. Heads should fucking roll.
Well, the innocent people that were on the bridge, point blank. Those people were just going to work or whatever, or coming home from work or whatever, They weren't doing anything bizarre or strange.
No. But, yeah, I mean, I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of that shit this year. I really do.
What kind of shit?
Well, we can go down the list once we get through this.
Are we good with the ship right now, though?
You want to be done? Do we have any more?
There isn't really a lot to tell here.
Okay.
I don't think this was a deliberate event.
Nor do I.
Here to indicate that this was a deliberate attack. If I was going to use the ship for a deliberate attack, it would be probably early morning rush hour.
8:30 in the morning.
Between 06 and 08:30, yeah.
Yep.
I would get the ship under the bridge, and then those big fat stacks of containers,
Boom.
big old claymores, really, really big claymores.
Yep. But here's another thing: is I saw the incident.
Mhm.
All right, the whole bridge fell down. So
It's a Tinker Toy.
I know.
It is held together by its own structure. The moment you compromise any one part of it, the whole thing goes. You did the.
Yeah, I know. I
You
know.
were an 18 Bravo.
Yeah, I know. I know how
If you-
how things are destroyed. I mean, I'm good at destroying shit. It just seemed very suspicious, and I'm not saying it's intentional, but I think a lot of the fact that it was as bad as it was neglect.
I would agree with that. I would
come
agree
on.
with that. I would definitely agree with that. Those bridges, though, those pylons are everything.
That's right.
If you take one of those pylons out, everything that holds that bridge together is compromised, and it's a domino.
Correct. And there you go.
And while one of you guys was telling us about it, we're sitting on our asses waiting for the next evolution at Cobra Gold in Thailand. And one of you guys was talking about, you don't have to blow it all up, man. All you got to do is like blow up one little part that's important,
And it's
and the whole thing will just fuck itself up.
yeah.
And he showed us what you
All
could
right.
do with 2 firecrackers, some non-dairy creamer, and a porta shitter.
All right. So I had to make an announcement real quick.
Do that.
All right. So we put out the show today with a bunch of links, and the Rumble link went bad. Why that happened, I have no idea. I think it's just Murphy. I had to actually go into Rumble, and I've already repasted in the chats of the other channels the new Rumble link that works. So if you are out there watching on another platform thinking that we screwed up, let's be honest, Murphy showed up and tweaked our butthole a little bit on this one.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. Also, we've been radically demonetized, so any money you guys send in goes a long way. We're literally operating on less than a shoestring budget. So
Yeah,
it is what it is.
and it does take some money to run this whole operation.
Yes, it's not free.
It is not free.
Yep.
There's quite a bit of effort that goes in behind it all. So hit the like button, smash the like button. Every time you smash the like button, a feminist hits the wall at 0 eggs per hour.
And the thought just brings a smile to my
It
face.
does. That came from one of our viewers, by the way.
Yes, I know.
That phrase. I like that phrase a lot.
I like it too.
I'm-
It went in the book, actually.
Nice. I like that
Nice.
a lot. So what happens now is we look at that bridge event, and it is in fact a Black Swan event, and that's what we're talking about tonight is Black Swan events.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen a lot of people today on the internet losing their mind about Black Swan this, Black Swan that. It's the current internet buzzword. It is. It's the current internet buzzword. Here's where the actual phrase comes from. And as Pop indicated earlier, I like language. That's my thing. I don't do math. Don't ask me to math. I cannot.
He's not a mather.
I cannot math. I has the dumbs.
Yes.
But languages I do. I tracked this Black Swan event down in Europe and the United Kingdom. I forget which century. I believe it was the 17th or 18th century. They believed all swans to be white because that's what they had. They had white swans.
Yep.
My swan is white. See, you can't have a black swan. So then they started sailing around the world, found a bunch of places, got killed by a bunch of people. And they eventually found Australia, which is basically just a big rock in the ocean with a big rock in the middle of it.
And everything there wants to kill you.
And everything in there wants to kill you or eat you.
Yes.
But Australia had black swans, which completely screwed up everybody's way of thinking. They, of course, had to take one back to the King of France and take one back to the King of England. Look here, we found a black swan. That's amazing. Oh my God, we have to rethink everything.
Yep.
It's just a black swan, dude. Calm down. That's where the phrase comes from. And it means when something that has previously been deemed impossible is revealed to be true.
Or possible.
Or possible.
Mm-hmm. It's when the impossible actually becomes possible.
Yes. Or has been the entire time and you just didn't know about it in the case of the Swan.
And like this morning with the tanker shipping container ship, that's Murphy.
I think it's a series of factors here. First of all, it is a black swan because We've never had a tanker do something that drastic. It's not a tanker; it's a freighter.
I can't remember any event.
Exxon Valdez broke up off the coast of Alaska, but that was in the water, and it was an oil tanker.
Yeah, and then with the Edmund Fitzgerald
died in a storm.
Yeah, that became a submarine in 2 minutes.
Storms eat boats all the time.
Yep.
But this was a freighter in a shipping lane that is known and has been known for hundreds of years, suddenly deciding he's just going to hit a pylon on a bridge. That has never happened in the United States. I looked that one up.
Yep.
I did look that one up.
It's never happened here. I don't remember anything like that ever happened.
It hasn't happened. That is the definition of a black swan event. That's all it takes. It didn't happen, so everybody thinks it can't happen, and then here it is. That's it. There's your black swan event.
There you go. And there's going to be more of these, in my opinion.
So, in the case of what everybody is thinking of as a black swan event is like 9/11, where when terror attack like that could never happen in the United States. Well, it did. And that is, in fact, a black swan event, but it's a planned, deliberate action.
Yes.
And those are what we're talking about here. That's what we're talking about right now.
What could possibly happen.
Or what could possibly happen.
Yeah.
Or what could possibly happen. I'm really upset.
How bad can it be?
Flipped around.
It's all right. Well, it's not a big deal. We can figure it out.
We're living in an upside down world today.
Well, the reason it happened is I plugged in my camera after yours.
Oh,
so
you know what this is?
What?
This is a black swan.
It's a black swan event.
There you go. Nice. These events that have been going on where our railroads are being sabotaged, that's sabotage. Those trains being derailed. Trains just don't suddenly derail themselves. It's sabotage.
Not often. It does happen, but not as much as it has been.
Food processing centers being burned.
Yeah, at record levels.
At record levels.
Yes.
I think we're up to something like 100 or so now.
Yeah.
Of the food processing centers being burned. People are calling these black swan events. They're not really. It's a pattern of terror. Who is doing it? I wish I could tell you. I no longer have the resources that I used to have.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have.
We can only make educated guesses.
Yeah, based on what it is that we used to do. Actually, the viewers, the readers, the
they're supporters.
Supporters. Thank you. There's the word I was looking for.
Yep.
I cannot brain today either. I has the dumbs.
It happens.
They came up with a pretty good list, and it looks a lot like this.
Disregard the misspellings.
That's just.
I am the dyslexicist.
Pop is the dyslexicist. Just accept it.
The first one we have assassination.
What did I just do?
I don't know.
I clicked the wrong thing because I'm an ass.
There we go.
There we go.
Is it on there?
Yeah, it's on there.
Cool. Now, who do I think is going to be on the top of that list? We all know he's fighting tooth and nail in court. The entire left is against him, and that's my play. That's what I think is going to happen. They're going to try to go after him, and if they're successful, I have no idea. Well, we all know what's going to happen. It's going to be
okay. On the topic of assassination,
correct.
I'm going to opine the following. First of all, I don't think they'll try a Kennedy-style CIA/Mossad hit. Why did everybody let that go?
A surprise haircut?
Surprise haircut.
Yeah.
I don't think there will be a surprise haircut. I do think we might get a Hinckley incident where some zealot on the left decides he's going to take a swing at the Trumpster and attempts to kill him. That's happened more than once.
Mm-hmm.
It's succeeded here and there.
Or what about tragic heart attack?
To mind. That would fall under the surprise haircut category.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the powers that be will not try something like the surprise haircut because they know what the result will be. That would probably be enough to push the people over the edge.
I think you're correct.
And cause mass stupidity.
Well, there would be a lot of freedom seeds released into the wild.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
I'm old and I'm content. I just want to raise my chickens, man. That's all I want.
I'm just getting out of the way.
I brought him eggs. I'm serious. I don't want that. I just want to raise my chickens, man.
But there's other targets. Could be like the governors of some of the southern states who are basically telling
That I
the
could believe.
the federal government to pound sand, and they're putting up their own walls, barriers, and activating their own troops.
Yeah, that I can believe.
The rumor is there are memos out there floating around to certain National Guard commanders that if an order comes down to federalize them, it is to be denied. That's just rumor.
It's an unlawful order, first of all. It is an unlawful order. It was unlawful in the case of any instance where the National Guard was used by the federal government.
Well, it has happened. In fact, World War I, the initial wave of troops that went over there was called the Rainbow Division because it was put together from a tapestry of basically the entire country's National Guard.
That's fine. It's still an unlawful order, though.
I don't know all the nuances in there. I'm not an attorney, but all I can tell you is the rumor mill that I'm getting, that is what I'm hearing. I haven't seen anything in writing. I haven't seen any memos.
Yeah.
So it's just take it with a grain of salt.
So these next three here are all kind of part and parcel in my opinion. A bomb or a drone attack and a social network used to assemble a flash mob attack. Flash mobs are the current weapon of choice. These invaders, this is a flash mob.
Well, stand by. Didn't we just have the fire but peaceful protest?
Oh yeah.
And remember, you sent me that link tree of all the phones, the cell phones, all leading.
I still have all of those maps. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the rehearsal.
Yes.
Now you're going to get the real deal because they already have the NGOs in place. They have the nonprofits in place. They have the network of ass bags in place. Yeah. Weapons are easy to get in this country for the most part, unless if you're a conservative, they're trying to make it a lot more difficult. And you've imported millions upon millions of military-aged individuals into this country that are completely untracked and unaccounted for.
Yes.
What do you think is going to happen?
It's human carpet bomb.
Go. Yeah.
The weapon of choice in this war is the human carpet bomb.
And then one guy brought up the drones in here because Ukraine has been at war now for 2 years, and we have seen all of the chaos that is being wreaked, mostly against the Russians up until this point. I mean, their learning curve is slow, but they're picking up on it. The massive amount of damage you can do with these drones, and there's virtually no defense.
It's true.
Yeah, unless you can get a powerful enough jammer to scramble, the command waves to said drone, that's possible. But let's say, say you get it up in the air, you see your target, you hit a button, and it doesn't matter anymore. You can jam it all you want. It's got its orders. It's going to execute.
We had a jammer called the Tilke when I was in. It was old 70s technology, but it still worked just fine. They're expensive. They're hard to maintain. A battlefield jammer is not just a death ray that you can point in any direction that you want. It's got to be keyed to specific frequencies. And
they're very expensive.
It's extremely expensive to have those jammers. Whereas I can go to Walmart and get a drone for $68. Somebody like Pop has the knowledge to make things that go kaplow. And basically anybody can get that information off of the internet.
Or you read my novels because it's all in there.
Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't had some drone stupidity already, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't had some drone stupidity.
Well, I mean, it's coming. I mean, listen, my ESP is telling me that it's coming.
Yep.
You can literally go on eBay and buy a secondhand drone that people used to use for, commercial work, one with extended ranges.
Yeah.
That you can actually attach a little more weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do all kinds of mayhem with that. And in fact, in my opinion, I thought a lot of those forest fires that took place that just seemed to stop at state borders.
That'd be an easy way.
Yeah, in 2019, 20-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a really easy way to start fires is a drone with some thermite on it.
Yeah, that's it.
And it doesn't take a lot.
No, this is not rocket science here.
Just in case you're out there, FBI, special agents, frickin' frack, we're talking through scenarios. Nobody's doing this stuff.
No.
Okay? So sit back down, finish your energy drink and your sadness. Okay? Because we're not out there doing this. We're walking through scenarios of things that could possibly happen that would look like what people consider to be a black swan.
Correct. And listen,
back down.
We're trying to save people's lives here, because it's one thing if you know it's possible and you have a little bit of that spider sense going in the back of your head. That's one thing. Another, being completely oblivious, just going, ho-de-do, walking right into it and not even realizing you are on the X. And that's a bad place to be.
We need to do a show on what that means to be on the X. A lot of people don't have any idea what a high value target looks like or what a mass casualty event target looks like. Everybody's thinking stadiums.
Well, the X
malls and stuff
is the kill zone in the ambush.
Yes.
That is what we refer to the X.
Yep.
And I have done probably thousands of ambush in training and someone for real. It is incredibly brutal. It happens fast, and it is no fucking joke. So I swore again. I gotta stop that.
I got to be the observer for that. We worked with, I think it was First Bat, and we did a bunch of the training and stuff like that. They just dragged us along on the ambush exercises, and we were just like, well, they did their thing. These guys are so fast that they'll set the ambush up, and when it kicks off, whatever the signal is, a claymore, the machine gun opening up, whatever, they are on the target, mowing the target down, going through whatever it is that they hit, taking whatever they need out of their documents or weapons or bodies or whatever the hell they need.
3 minutes or less.
3 minutes or less.
Yep.
From the time the signal goes off to the time that there's no more Rangers anywhere.
Yeah. 3 minutes.
We just were like running along, keeping up with them. And we're like,
and nobody talks.
Nobody talks.
Nobody talks.
That's the crazy part. That was the crazy part for me, because we had 2 4-man teams that were attached to them doing their signals intelligence and stuff. We went and did a couple of the ambushes, and we're like, nobody's talking. Why isn't anybody talking? Nobody's talking. What's going on?
And all of a sudden it's
just action.
Boom.
Yeah.
I've done that thousands of times.
And it's crazy seeing it as an observer. He probably doesn't even notice it when he's doing it. But when you're the guy standing back watching it, you're like, oh my God, I hope these guys don't come to kill me. This is bad. But lightning fast.
Yeah, and listen, we've been at war for about 20 years. There are millions of guys out there that have knowledge of this or know how it's done or have done it themselves.
Yeah.
And some of them are not on the good side.
Yes.
I would like to say I'm on the good side because I'm trying to warn everybody.
There was the little punk at West Point who got his Ranger tab. All that means is he went through the school. It's just a leadership school. He wasn't one of the Rangers. That's a totally different thing. The school and an actual Ranger are two different things. But this kid graduated West Point and in a photo pulled up his shirt and showed his Che Guevara contact.
Yeah, I remember that bastard. We talked about him on the show.
So what I'm getting at is those guys are out there.
Yes.
You've got Ranger trained commies out there.
Mm-hmm. That hate this country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's just be honest. They do. And you could place the blame like right at the feet of the education center.
Yes.
Because they are not taught actual history. Mm-hmm. Because once you learn how history works, you start to see the patterns coming. And we have a whole generation out there who are completely oblivious, and they've been turned into useful idiots, and we're taught what to think, not how to think.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
That's absolutely true. And what year did you go through McCall? You went through McCall.
92.
Was the picture on the wall in the classroom, south door, you walk in, right face, and there's Shugart's medal wouldn't have been there yet.
No.
But there's a picture hanging on the wall of Triple Nickel, one of the ODAs.
Yep.
And at their feet in a jungle in South America is a particular individual. And I saw that photo and I'm like, The Bolivian police were late to the party. How about that?
That would be Pablo.
No.
Wasn't Pablo?
No, it was not.
Okay. Because
No,
he got
no,
whacked
no,
off
no.
of a roof, I believe.
He was on a roof.
Yeah.
This photo was guys in the jungle standing over a guy and smiling, doing the look how cool we are. Perfect hair, sunglasses. Fuck you, Green Berets. Hate you guys. Hate you guys.
Well, yeah.
But anyway. So attack infrastructure, airports, trains, power stations. We know that's going on.
All right. Now, first of all, like the airport thing. And I did this one by accident as a child in Oak Park, Michigan.
By accident.
Well, me and a couple of my friends were flying kites at Lessinger Elementary School in Oak Park, Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And, of course, I'm an evil genius. And we're trying to get this kite to work. It's kind of a semi-windy day. So it kept doing, hitting the ground.
Diving. Yeah.
So we tied a bunch of tinfoil to the tail of the kite to make sure that we could keep it stable.
Stabilizers.
And we ran it up, I think, 3 or 4 whole big things of strings. So it's probably 10, 12,000 feet up there.
You got it that high?
Yeah, you couldn't barely see it.
Wow.
And it was about a half an hour. And then we have like 4 or 5 cruisers roll up like, "Whoa, what are you guys doing?" And we're like, "We're flying a kite." And they're like, "Is that thing made of metal or something?" And my buddy, he's like, "Well, we put some tinfoil on the tail." He goes, "Well, get that shit down. It's fucking up the radar."
Oh, it would.
Yeah.
It acts as chaff. It's clutter on the radar screen.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And their radar screens would look like
it was causing
sparklies
all
over.
kinds of problems.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And anyone can do that. You can go to
Kites with tinfoil.
Walmart and buy one of those party things of helium.
Don't actually do this.
I don't. But you could do the same thing.
Just describing what's possible.
Yeah, because I'm an evil genius. It's the way I roll.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it. And all you got to really do is just be close enough to the airport to screw everything
I
up.
was going to joke about it being chaff, and you guys actually got chaff into the air and jammed local radar. That's fantastic.
We got, and they were, let's say we got a constructive ass chewing.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think I was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you going to do? You got 2 9-year-olds.
I'm not deliberately jamming radar. Who do you think I am, Ethel Merman?
And you got 2 9-year-olds and a 6-year-old going. And they're like, just pull that shit down. And we brought it down, and they're like, okay, just no more metal on there. You're fine. And then, that was it.
It's fantastic, though.
But this is how easy it is.
By the way, he has a whole bunch of stories from his time at Oak Park. There's a lot of stories from those times.
I was an asshat.
He was an asshat.
Yeah, and I got the 1970 cop treatment. Get bounced off the hood. What are you doing? What are you doing? Empty your pockets. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Where'd you get that? I don't know. I found it. Yeah, sure you did. Get out of here. Don't do it again. Like, okay.
Oh, those were the good old days.
Yeah.
So dam is on the list. Now, I've been over the Hoover Dam not once but twice.
Hang on.
Go ahead.
All right. The train station.
Yeah.
All right. I did a security check. I literally received instructions when I was working AGR out of Southfield, Michigan, to go and do a security check unannounced to the train yards in Detroit. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Completely unguarded. There are so many freaking holes in those fences. Like, literally, you could drive a train through them and nobody would notice. And then some of the fences were so eroded, the dirt underneath, there's like 2 feet, you just roll right under it. I walked around for like 35, 40 minutes, had a goddamn clipboard in my hand, and I'm writing down what I'm seeing. And before any of the railroad cops walked up on me. Yeah. And they were like, I'm in full uniform. Mm-hmm. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I literally pull it out. I'm like, because, they get the memo. I hand it to them, and they're like, "Well, why didn't you tell us?" I go, because it says unannounced. And then you could hear hundreds of people's assholes slamming shut.
Yeah.
And here's one thing. I came across a chemical car full. I shouldn't say full. I did not confirm it. I didn't knock on the tank. I just read the label. Dimethyl mercury. That shit is so toxic. It is unbelievably dangerous.
That's not toothpaste?
It's so dangerous. we couldn't even use it as a weapon of war because we fucked with that shit for quite some time. And it'll go right through any, not any, but most of the protective clothing you wear.
Yeah.
Like one drop, go right through your gloves. In fact, if you look up dimethylmercury, there's a scientist who was fucking around with it, got a little bit on her skin, and she died a painful fucking death.
I don't want anything to do with anything like
that. What I'm saying, though, is that shit, and even worse, is rolling around out there on infrastructure that's held together with duct tape and toothpaste.
Yeah.
Just look at that. What happened in Ohio? What was it? Ohio?
The train. Yeah. I forget exactly where that happened. When that cloud went up.
Yeah. That was the equivalent of a chemical nuclear bomb.
Yes. Yeah. I dread to think what that area is going to look like in the next couple of years.
Yeah. That water table is fucked for
the Earth
2,000 years.
The Earth will. It won't be 2,000 years.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. The Earth has an uncanny way of unfucking itself.
And listen, I totally am a Mother Nature kind of guy, and I understand once Mother Nature has had enough of us, we will get flicked off of this planet like a booger. Gone.
98 was one of the worst monsoons Korea had seen in 110 years. We were going up to a village. I was with Civil Affairs at the time. We organized a bunch of trucks. We were going to go evacuate a village. We're on the next mountain over. We're trying to get through. Everything is flooded. It had been raining sideways for 5 days at that point.
I hate sideways rain.
Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I hate it.
It's like biblical.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the mountain. We can see the village we're supposed to go to. We start heading down the mountain that we're on, trying to find a way up there. And the side of the mountain makes this noise, like this weird cracking noise. I can't even really properly describe.
Mudslide.
No, these mountains in Korea are granite.
Okay.
A piece of the mountain just goes, eh, and the village is gone. And we're like, this is going to require helicopters. We can't get those in the air until this shit stops.
You're fucked.
By the time we got there, like 3 days later after the rain stopped, the spot where the village was gone. A slab of granite had just come off the side of the mountain and like a guillotine just
took it out. Took it out.
If Mother Nature wants you gone, you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone.
You're done.
All right, we're sidetracking.
We are sidetracking.
But yeah.
We are sidetracking. How does he switch back and forth and make these cameras do the things? Because he can make me big and you big.
That's one way.
That's one way. But that's me. It's not supposed to be.
And don't worry about it. The important part is we're getting the information out there. And we'll figure it out. It's not a big deal.
Black Swan event.
What's the next one?
Dams.
All right.
So
World War II.
Yep.
Destroying dams was pretty high on the list for the Allies to do too.
They had the cool. They'd come in and skip the bombs off the wall.
Custom built bombs to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how we evil monkeys are. Evil hairless monkeys. Let's be honest.
Hairless monkeys.
And all you really got to do is take out a dam. Let's face it. New York is powered by, what is it?
Hydroelectric.
Hydroelectrics coming off of the Great Lakes. If you could somehow, flounder that, you're literally cutting power off to millions of people. The minute you do that, you're going to have lots of people die. Because let's face it, we are so used to our comforts. You got people in hospitals, a lot of machines that are keeping people alive running on electricity. You turn that off, you just zero it out, about 3% of the population immediately.
Now, it's been 15 years, so I'll admit I don't know what it looks like now, but I crossed the Hoover Dam twice prior to those 15 years.
The Hoover Dam's by Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, I've driven across that quite a few times when I used to fight.
I will say that the security there is pretty good.
Okay.
From what I saw, because I stopped to look. I had never seen it before. So I had to get out and have a look.
There's probably a dozen people that are buried inside the concrete there, too.
There's a bunch of people in the Mackinac Bridge as well.
Yeah. Shit happens.
Shit happens. They didn't care back then. If you fell into the concrete while they were pouring it, you were just...
They're like,
oh, well, there goes Charlie. Did he get his poker money from him last night? Those would be hard to blow, the big dams. But there are little dams all over the country.
We just had one happen here in Michigan about 7 years back.
Yes, that are undefended.
Yeah.
There are little dams all over this country. Everybody thinks about those big, huge dams. You hit a couple of those little dams just right, and they'll flood something that we need to keep going.
Yep.
Like an electrical plant
Yes.
or a food processing plant or a key railhead, any number of things, an airstrip. So it's not just the really big ones. Everybody looks at the Hoover and the one in New York that we can't remember the name of right now, but we know is there. There's a couple of other dams along the way. And
Well, if you can get one of
you
the
could-
bigger dams,
yeah.
I mean, all of the downstream effects as well,
Yes.
because, you know, I mean, the water runs downhill and pretty much scours everything out of its way.
Water does not care.
No,
The best you can do is suggest a direction for it.
you're not stopping it.
And if it doesn't like that direction, it will simply overwhelm whatever you put in front of it and go the way it wanted to go to the first place. Water does not care. Forest fires, we mentioned those. Those aren't as big a threat. They tend to happen in the same areas over and over again. You're not going to get a forest fire, for example, that's going to go, hey, let's go burn Cleveland.
No.
That's not going to happen.
But they do happen. We had the forest fires that took place in California, Oregon.
What that does is retard our resources.
Yeah, it drains
We need
resources.
that wood.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. It's the fact that we have to send personnel there.
Mhm.
It's just another drain on the resources
Yes.
of personnel, tax money,
Yes.
because you got to pay people to do that stuff.
Yep.
Unless, well, who was that? The DA that kept people in prison specifically for that? Was that New York? I don't remember.
Kept in prison for what?
Basically kept people over their sentence so they could be used as slave labor.
Oh, I remember that, but I don't remember the name of that
Yeah.
DA.
But that, if you think that isn't happening all over the country, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Hell, when I first showed up at 9th ID, I had to go be assist in a forest fire out there by Yakima and
Oh, yeah.
Nisqually Rainforest.
Yeah,
and shit.
I heard a lot of guys talking about ending up on fire detail,
That
fire break detail.
sucked, and I ruined a whole uniform, and I couldn't DX it. I had to buy another one with my own meager fucking money that I got paid as an E3. I know.
But back in the day, an E3 made like $620 a month.
That's it.
So
That's enough for.
yeah, we didn't.
Hey, hang on. The math. Let me see. The math is 3 good benders a month. That's all you can afford on that.
That's all you could really afford on
That's
that,
it. 3 good benders. That's
Yeah.
it.
unless you were good at talking.
Yeah.
Then you could horn your way into a barbecue or.
Yeah. I wasn't that guy. I wasn't
was.
that guy. It's not that guy.
I was. I'll admit it. To my great shame, I talked my way into more than one barbecue just to get to the beer.
Yeah, I got you. There's no shame in that. There's no shame.
Digital attacks, obviously, those have been going on ever since we've had the internet, which
Oh,
really kicked off around 1998.
Here's the thing that just drives me crazy. All right. We've been computerizing everything and hooking stuff up to automatic this, automatic that. You want to know why? Because we are lazy, evil, hairless monkeys.
We've become incredibly.
And then we attach said computers to the internet, which connects to the entire planet.
Here we are on the internet doing
Yes.
exactly that.
Doing that, I know.
By the way,
But I'm not a hacker.
No.
And there's some guys out there who are phenomenally good, who can get through your security, start flipping switches, turning things off. Can you imagine what happens if they can get into the system in a nuclear
I'm
power
gonna
plant?
tell you a story.
I want to hear it.
Intelligence. We got a guy called Carp. That's all I'll say is Carp was Carp.
Mhm.
Carp was interesting. Carp drove a bright red Corvette and didn't want to date girls at all because he understood all the things that Pop teaches.
Mhm.
Carp knew all this thing ahead of time, and he was going to wait until he was retired so he could go pick a girl at the age of 38 while he had all of this money and everything was set up and everything. And now because he didn't fall for the E3, E4 marriage and your screwed trap. but Carp was a genius level hacker. We went in country in an undisclosed location, and he's fucking around with a computer or something where we're getting all our gear ready and building antennas and stuff. And he comes back with a bag of cell phones and he starts handing them out. Where we're like, what's this? He's like, oh, I hacked the telecom company in the country, so we've got our own phones now. Like nothing. This is one guy with a laptop in a hotel room.
And those guys are out there, man. You know,
Carp, if you're out there, dude, I love you, man. You were so skilled.
All right. So
here's your phone.
This is while I was married, right? I was trying to write a book about hackers. And I was getting on the dark web and making some inquiries. And guess what? They nuked my fucking computer. There ain't shit I could have done about it. I literally had to like pull a hard drive, install a new hard drive, reformat it. They fucking got me.
Who nuked your computer?
Some hackers.
Oh, just some rando?
No. I was on the dark web trying to interview hackers about hacking.
Oh.
And somebody's like, "Oh, fuck that guy. What's his IP?"
No.
And they fucking nuked me.
Yeah.
And my hat's off to him. If you did that, I owe you a beer. I'm not mad about it. That was
a good hit.
That was good.
They're bad. They're really bad news.
It's a solid hit, man. It's solid.
They're really bad news. Carp did what he did in about 25, 30 minutes. So bear that in mind. This guy cloned phones off of a foreign phone company's service, made us phones with brand new numbers, and just handed them out like candy for while we were operating in that country.
Great.
And there's no way to trace those. There's no way that they lead back to us, anything. These phones just appeared. And when we left, he put them all in a bag, beat them with a fucking hammer, and threw them in.
And I'm going to be honest. We have I don't know how many cell phone companies that operate inside the United States. It is not that hard to get your hands on a burner cell phone, pay cash for it or whatever. And then you could do a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Like literally you get yourself one of these burner phones. You have all the numbers of your compatriots. You only use it for maybe 3 days tops. Pull the SIM card and just move on to another phone.
Yeah.
It's virtually untraceable. And that's not enough time, in my opinion. Listen, you're the SIGINT guy, but 3 days of usage probably is not enough time to have alphabet agencies be able to
not enough time to attract attention.
That won't to paint an X on you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you don't want to do. Don't use it for anything conspicuous in any way, shape, or form. And if you can, don't take it to places that you go routinely, because that establishes a pattern.
Now, and this boat anchor is more than likely compromised as well.
Oh, I'm sure mine is.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it, though.
I mean, it goes through its battery about 40% faster than it used to.
I want to do a little taunt. Can I do a taunt?
No. Let's no taunting. We're good. Sorry. All right.
It's a good taunt, though.
I know. Let's go.
I'll do the taunt later. Digital attacks, bioweapon. We just went through a bioweapon. I don't care what you think or what you think you saw with the
Coof.
The Coof jabs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was an organized, coordinated biological attack. And I'm not talking about the virus. Okay. I'm not talking about the Coof itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about what happened afterward, where people were lining up at gas stations to get people to stick things in their arms that they had no idea what it was.
Yeah. And I think that was a rehearsal, actually, for something worse. Because we've heard about the virus X, right? You've heard about the virus X. It was just a quick blurb in the news.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you think they aren't capable of cooking up something that's infinitely worse than the Coof, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Because listen, there are some individuals who like money more than they like life and God, that are more than happy to cook up whatever the fuck that they get paid to do. And it's just getting easier and easier with each passing year. Like, hell, I think you can buy a CRISPR and edit genes in your own fucking house. I keep saying that word. I gotta stop. That's dangerous.
Why would you?
Because people are stupid.
I wouldn't even know where to begin with something like that, though. I mean, that's just me.
I know.
It's the whole math thing.
I know. But there are people out there that is.
No, I'm sure.
That is
I'm sure
thing.
there are.
And there are people out there who would like, oh yeah, I'll cook something up that'll kill billions of people if you pay me enough money. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll
And
give myself the
enough movies
antidote.
have been made from everything from 12 Monkeys to Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six novel, and all of the other movies, Outbreak, what have you. There have been enough movies out there that it will have inspired some young psychopath to try to do these things.
But an event like that is actually big enough to suspend an election.
It is big enough to suspend an election. Let me give a brief class on chemical weapons in this context here. I want to put a lot of your fears at rest, whether these chemical weapons are useful or not. Most chemical weapons, a battlefield chemical weapon like a sarin gas or a mustard
or
gas
VX
or something, or VX. VX is really nasty.
Yeah.
But the thing is, these things don't have a hang time. Mustard gas in particular, it had to be used in the trenches, and it didn't carry all that far. They don't have range, and they don't linger.
Huh.
They die very quickly. So they are not good for a mass attack. Remember, they released sarin on the subway in Japan. Do you remember that incident?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Was it sarin or was it VX?
I think it was sarin.
I think it was sarin. At any rate, it only killed a handful of people.
So a lot of people were permanently screwed from it, though.
Oh no, yeah. I'm not saying this stuff doesn't work. I'm saying you can't wipe out a city with it unless you've got just a crazy amount, and then you would have to have the delivery system for that. What I'm getting at is I don't want anybody to get all freaked out and worried about a chemical gas attack, because they're very hard to carry off and they don't have any kind of a hang time, really.
It's more dangerous, the liquid propane attack.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if you can get one of those liquid propane tankers into a major populated area, and then you just compromise the integrity of the tank, that is going to be an absolute
ammonia and chlorine into the ventilation system of a building is way more dangerous than like a sarin or a mustard gas.
Yeah.
That's chlorine gas.
Yeah.
Ammonia and bleach makes chlorine gas.
Yeah. And listen, and we're not telling anyone to do this. I'm just trying to warn you all that this is possible. All of this information is freely available on the internet. I've looked up a lot of this stuff already because I use a lot of these nefarious schemes and so forth in the books that I write. I write about a psychic who hunts serial killers, and I this is what I do. I research this stuff, and then for a profession, my profession, in the Army was special forces, meaning you had to do maximum amount of stuff with minimal amount of shit. So you always had to figure out a way to maximize whatever you had to its utmost potential.
Then you have to find a way to talk the locals into 1, not killing you.
Yes.
2, organizing. 3, training properly. 4, not killing you. And then 5, fighting for you. And
without killing you.
6, not killing you while they're fighting for you.
What a nightmare.
What a job.
What the hell
Awesome
was I
job.
thinking, man?
That it sounded like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I didn't do it for the fun, though. I did it for the challenge.
That's fine. Same thing, really, at the end of the day. So what else have we got here? Attacks on crowds with cars and trucks, school attacks.
They're doing that.
LP truck attacks. This has been going on for years.
Yeah, like China has had a lot of these attacks, people driving through crowds.
Yeah.
And
we've had our share.
We've had our share over here.
It's been a couple. There was the Christmas attack that one year where the guy in the truck drove through a crowd of Christmas revelers.
Yeah.
Grandmothers and children and stuff. And the news.
It's just as dangerous as a mass shooter. Why we're going to ban all cars now and trucks?
Yeah. One of the items on this list from the supporters is jam. It looks like you tried to say radar.
All right.
And you said jam radar.
Yeah. I already talked about the jamming the radar thing.
Yeah, you can jam radar with kite and tinfoil.
Yeah, and I did it by accident. I was just fucking around.
When you're 9, which is awesome. Destroy food and water is obvious. Any one of these things here, and the fact that everybody considered these black swan events tells me that
Now,
people don't
this is really going to
understand
blow your goat here.
what a black swan event. Which one do you want to go to?
Well, hang on. There's enough illegal aliens of military age in this country. They could literally do everything on that list all at once. And what the fuck are we going to do about it?
They're not that organized
Yet.
I will straight up say with confidence that they do not have the ability.
I hope you are right. I hope you are. But we've already had the peaceful but fiery protests as a big rehearsal.
Yeah.
So they already have the comms in place. They already have the command structure in place.
Yes, they do.
They have the NGOs, the nonprofits. They probably have the money. There you go. And we just saw the attack that happened in Moscow.
Yes.
Those guys said they were going to get paid X amount of dollars or whatever to do this stupid shit.
Yeah.
And they're all idiots. But that's why we call them useful idiots. Because they're stupid, but they'll still execute. And once they do, you don't need them anymore.
Yes, that's true. That's true. So we're going to move on to the concept of the Black Swan event in the context of what we just discussed, where everybody thinks a Black Swan event is a surprise butt sex attack or a surprise haircut.
Correct.
The media has decided to run with this, and they have weaponized the phrase Black Swan event. CBS reporter predicts Black Swan event in 2024, fertile ground for our adversaries.
And stand by. Put that picture back on there.
Standing by.
All right. You look at that woman's face, and
That's
you can obviously see that her vagina has grown up her chest, and now her flaps are hanging off her neck. Just an observation.
That is so out of context. It is so absolutely out of context. Now I can't unsee that either. I'm going to scroll down and remove her vagina and neck from this image here.
Can't help it.
I hate you a little bit. A little tiny bit of me hates you right now. Now I can't unsee that. If you feel an impending sense of doom because of the alarming domestic and international crises that have erupted during Joe Biden's disastrous presidency, that you're not alone. This is on MSN. They just said erupted during Joe Biden's disastrous presidency.
On
MSN.
All right, hang on a minute. If you're watching on YouTube and Rumble, please hit the like button.
Pound the like button. Come on, man. Just reach over there and tap.
Because we've got record numbers. We're like almost 1,200 on YouTube and over 1,000 on Rumble.
Oh, wow, nice. We may be adding another channel here soon too. Nice Crew TV has invited us on and sent us a key and everything.
And a candygram.
A candygram for Mongol. Mongol like candy.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
Actually, I want to if you can, I want to set up a conversation with those guys and go through them because
yeah. I can get.
Because let's face it. All right. I'm in this business to save lives. I'm literally in a war with one of the primal forces of the universe, which is destruction, or you better know them as death. But let's be honest, it's more like a knife fight in a back alley because we have no support. Okay. And this is a war. You fight wars with weapons, and you do egregious things to win. In the psychological aspect, I'm using words. And I speak poorly about the forces of darkness and the people who bow down to them. And they don't like me. In fact, they don't like me so much, I can't even put an anti-suicide commercial on the fucking TV. I have to jump through hoops to see if we can get it to pass.
I am unfucking that.
I know. And I couldn't even buy advertising in Stars and Stripes or Military Times at all. So let that sink in. All right, let's continue on.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
Well, now you derailed my train of thought.
I'm sorry, man.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's why they call it grunt speak.
My brain just crashed. So this is MSN here saying that Joe Biden's presidency is disastrous, by the way, which is a reliably left-wing source. CBS News investigative reporter Catherine Herridge, who used to be on Fox when it was very conservative, big surprise. Says she's worried about black swan events that will rock the nation in 2024 as foreign adversaries try to capitalize on the weak and divided state of the nation. Now, I have mentioned this before from the psychological operations perspective. They use words it's called neurosynaptic programming.
It's a whole lot of big words.
That's a whole lot of big words. Let me break it down.
Why don't you just break it down to Grunt's big brainwashing?
They repeat phrases in the background in commercials, on billboards, and in news articles that they know you're just going to gloss over. But your brain sees these words over and over and over and over.
Kind of like
Black Swan.
Every commercial has an interracial couple in it now.
Same idea. Same exact idea.
I see these things.
I see these things as well. There's a whole bunch of stuff we could go into, but it would get our YouTube channel shut down like that.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
And it would get Candace Owen fired. So, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I might
not go down that rabbit hole.
Okay, all right.
Put the bunny over here. Put the bunny down.
I will do a layer video on that.
That. At any rate, they repeat these words over and over again. Their current favorite word is obviously black swan. Now, at the beginning of the show, we explained to you what black swan really means. And here they are in the media using it to mean a surprise haircut attack. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a black swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict, Harridge said Sunday. No, it's not. That's not what a black swan event is at all. What she's describing is a terrorist attack. Harridge predicts in 2024 the U.S. may have a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. Oh, look at them repeat their same text. Why would they be doing that? Could it be to get it into the back of your head there a little bit? Black swan.
Repetition is the mother of skill.
Well, that's not where we're going here.
I know, but I'm just saying.
It's still a true statement, though. She added, there are a number of concerns that I have that factor into that. Not only is this sort of enduring a heightened threat level that we're facing, the wars in Israel and also Ukraine. Okay, what they're doing here is building public anxiety. Why do we care about the war in Ukraine? Why do we care about the war in Israel when our own border is being invaded? At what point does Catherine Herridge express concern about the border of the United States? What the media is doing right now is using the black swan idea to basically weld it to their pet projects here so that you're concerned about saving Israel and saving Ukraine. And isn't it great? Donate more money. Never mind the border. Don't pay any attention to that. Hey, that ship that just hit the pier in Baltimore, that's indicative of exactly nothing. Don't worry about the infrastructure of the nation or the fact that groceries that you bought for $10 last year now cost you $45. Don't worry about that. Worry about these things because Black Swan! Okay, that's what's
It's
going
basically a big game of 3-shell Monty.
Yes.
With your brain.
Yes. This is great. I love how they pop up. Go away. Nobody likes you. Catherine Herridge says, a black swan is a negative, unpredictable event that has devastating, far-reaching consequences. The term was coined by statistician Nassim Taleb in his 2007 book, The Black Swan.
That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
That is complete bullshit.
Absolute bullshit. Also, what she's referring to comes from a book on finance. Okay. It comes from a book. He was using the black swan example in banking industry.
Well, I mean, that is possible there.
No, absolutely. It is absolutely possible, but he wasn't using it specifically as a negative, unpredictable event that has devastating, far-reaching consequences. Okay, he used the example of the black swan to demonstrate that a financial system that everybody thinks is perfectly fine is eventually going to have a problem, and you're going to find it. Again, it's just Murphy.
Well, here's the thing.
But with feathers.
We have the Fed, right? The Federal Reserve. We don't even know how the fuck that thing works. We can't audit it. We don't know what the hell's going on.
Yes,
and then are we going to be surprised when it fails because we weren't able to inspect how the whole thing fucking works?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolute power over banks screws everybody.
Yes.
So Harridge, get this, who is married to Air Force Lieutenant Colonel J.D. Hayes.
So fucking what?
There is nothing I hate more than officers' wives.
Yeah.
When I worked Diplo, when I was civil affairs, half of the job was going to diplomatic functions. And I'd walk around behind the colonel and carry her hat and her drink, and she'd talk to people. We came across a group of officers' wives. This is a very short story.
All right.
They're talking, I'm the wife of Colonel so-and-so. Well, I'm the wife of General so-and-so. And one of the wives happens to look back at Colonel O, who was a South Carolina Southern woman with a heavy accent. And she takes her drink out of my hand, sips it, and looks one of the women right dead in the eye and says, "Sugar, I am the colonel. Come, Sergeant, I need another drink." We walked away, and the wives are like, "Sugar, I am the colonel." It's fantastic.
I like it.
So she's riding her husband's rank, which is what we called that. She made these ominous comments when asked what her predictions for the new year. She said significant threat levels will loom over the next several months. This woman is just full of crap. She's riding her husband's coattails. Okay, I'll grant her intelligence. I've heard her speak. She's articulate.
Yes.
So I will assume an average or slightly above average intelligence. But the second she uses her husband's coattails and rank, you know that she's inadequate.
That's a good assumption, and you're not far off the mark, because I too have had my experiences with officer wives and sergeant major wives and shit.
Oh, sergeant major wives are worse.
Oh yeah.
They're worse. So where are we here? That one turned out to be there was a YouTube one that I grabbed that turned out to be nothing but a video.
A bunch of sheeot.
Yes. So Stanford researchers develop a method for predicting unprecedented events.
All right. First of
Okay,
all,
we
hang on.
have this here.
hang
Go ahead.
All right. We have AI, and then we have all of these red flag laws coming down the pipe.
Yes.
Before we know it, we're going to have that one. Was it the Minority Report, or what was the name of the movie where they predicted people were going to do dangerous
Pre-crime.
Pre-crime.
Minority Report.
Yeah, Minority Report.
I actually kind of like that movie.
But the thing is that is coming down the pipe, and it just is what it is, and we should all be aware of this. Like, I myself do not want to be thrown in jail because some swami AI said, "Hey, he's going to do bad things in the future." That is not a good thing.
This is snake oil.
Correct.
This is absolutely snake oil, and I can explain why very easily. Stanford researchers develop a method for predicting unprecedented events. They're claiming that they can predict catastrophic events by analyzing long-term data from 3 ecosystems. We were able to show that fluctuations happen in different biological species that are statistically the same across different ecosystems. Okay, you've studied a model.
Mm-hmm.
Humanity
Oh,
and biology and the earth and everything around all of that have a really nasty habit of ignoring models. And
especially
that's it.
humans.
That's all you need to know.
If you're trying to, all right. I used to hunt human beings for a living.
Yes.
So you have to know your prey to a certain extent.
Yes.
But you are never 100% sure of what they're going to do. Ever.
Yeah.
You never know if you're on their 6, if they're gonna, pigeon tail around and then you're on the X and they're ambushing you.
Yeah.
You don't know if they're gonna call Artie on you or do some other nefarious shit.
It was the same with us. We were out there DFing. Guess what? We're broadcasting a signal. They can DF you back.
Yeah.
You were at the pointy end of the stick, but I did the same thing basically, but just with radios and antennas.
I got you. But the thing is you can never be 100%. It's especially when it comes to human beings. We are so goddamn unpredictable because we're so fucking flawed. I said it again. Damn it. But it's not going to work. Are you going to throw that?
Stop saying it.
You bastard. You actually caught that.
It's a black cock event. Oh, that went wrong on more than one level. Content.
Phrasing.
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 Phrasing. So this article from Stanford researchers claims that a black swan event is a highly unlikely but massively consequential incident, which we've already proven to be wrong. It's a highly unlikely, but look, a bird with black feathers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what a black swan event originally was. They've turned it into this thing. The 2008 global recession and the loss of 1/3 of the world's saiga antelope in a matter of days in 2015. What? I didn't hear about that. That's an interesting one. I need to look that up. Apparently, 1/3 of the world's saiga antelope, SAIGA, for anybody who's interested, were wiped out in a matter of days in 2015. I have no idea what that means. How fascinating. So the forecasting method the researchers have developed, which was detailed recently in a technical manual, is based on natural systems and could find use in healthcare and environmental research. You know what? There is merit to that. Certain environments do produce certain results. However, you're never going to get a complete model that works every single time.
No.
It's just impossible. It also has potential applications in disciplines outside ecology that have their own black swan events, such as economics and politics. Now, an example of a regularly reliable model that every once in a while just does absolutely inexplicable shit, and this is Pop's specialty area, is ammunition. How many times have you fired 1,000 rounds of 5.56 and then you fire that one round that just goes, ah, or God knows what else, and it was loaded the same way? And
yeah, it happens. Where you wind up with the pop and no kick.
Yeah.
You're like, bop, 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 and you're like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And
grab the rod.
Pull it out there and you can't see down the barrel. You're like, I need a rod. Anybody got a rod?
I need a rod.
And listen, trying to actually push one of those out is
I've done it.
Is
I had a pop
hard.
kick.
It's hard.
Yeah. I had a pop no kick in basic.
Yeah. You know,
My point is a normally reliable thing like ammunition, which is loaded in a factory the same exact way, the same exact time, every single time, can still have unpredictable and strange results. We had a guy had a round blow up in his in the chamber.
Yep.
He had a round blow in the chamber.
I've seen
and
that.
almost lost part of his face.
I saw at NTC, I saw a 50 gunner lose her thumb. Like firing it, you know, and it was fucking up, opens up the top to pull the belt off. There was the top of her thumb gone.
A round cooked off?
Yeah, it wasn't even in there. It was literally just on the tray. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. All I know is we threw a tampon on there and sent her to the rear. And
yeah,
yeah,
we do carry tampons in our equipment. They're great for bullet wounds.
Well, actually, that's what we used to call like the field dressings.
No, we had tampons.
Yeah,
for bullet wound. And again, that's something I learned from you guys.
Yeah,
I just have a handful of these.
It just can't be scented.
If you get it through and through, just
yeah. It's totally true.
Yeah.
Same concept. It's bleeding wound, bleeding axe wound.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same thing. So these researchers are again claiming that the black swan event is the statistical modeling thing here. A lot of this is, it sounds nice, a black swan event. There's going to be a black swan event. Sounds a lot better than somebody's going to do some shit.
Yeah. Somebody's going to fuck around and we're all going to find out.
Yes. There's going to be a FAFO event.
Mm-hmm.
From microbes to avalanches, 1 year of studying microbial communities, Bray noticed several instances where one species would undergo an unanticipated population boom, overtaking its neighbors. That's a black swan event.
Okay.
Discussing these events with Wang, they determined whether this phenomenon occurred outside the lab as well and of whether it could be predicted. Probably not. You're in a lab.
Well, this is all reminding me of the mouse utopia experiment.
Oh, that's a good one.
And for those of you that don't know what that is literally they set up a box, maybe 12 by 12. I don't remember the size. And there's infinite water, infinite food. So they can drink and eat as much as they want. And the population it just exploded, went haywire. And
because
then
they had a perfect environment.
it was
Yep.
like maybe 5 to 7 generations in, they started noticing that, a lot of the males, quit mating,
Yep.
became gay,
Yes.
lost interest in everything other than coming out once in a while to eat and drink, murdered each other, resorted to.
Yeah, the entire population was reduced to like a quarter of what it started with, I think.
Yeah,
or something like that. It was really incredible.
yeah. And let's face it, we are living in a evil hairless monkey mouse utopia experiment
Evil
here in the
hairless
West.
monkey mouse utopia. I feel like that should be a garage band or something.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Okay, we had the dictator in chief installed,
Yes.
and for the most part, let's face it, that they're getting away with it,
Yes.
and they think they're going to keep getting away with it, and maybe they will for a while. But when you look back at history, every government goes off the rails at some point. And it's just, we're due. We're due for that to happen. And it's going to turn into something extremely ugly. And all I can really do is get the hell out of the way. I want no piece of that. But all you guys out there between the ages of, say, 13 and 40, you're going to be smack dab in the middle of this shit show.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I hope we can,
Cardio is key, man.
yeah. Well, I hope we can avoid this. But like my platoon sergeant used to say, wish in one hand and shit in the other, and tell me which one fills up first.
My grandmother used to say that.
Yeah.
My grandmother my Mimi used to say that. That's what we called her, was Mimi.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. She would say, wish in one hand, shit in the other, see which fills first. We'd be like,
Well,
you 5 years old.
You can't even argue with that. It's totally true.
Yes. That is absolutely correct. Now, I found this article here and chose it to show you what I'm talking about, because this is the New Yorker. This is what the Cosmopolitan Housewives read.
Mm.
And this is how the gossip starts around words, because Cosmopolitan bored housewives who live on Xanax and box wine love to say things like, the pandemic isn't a black swan, but a portent of a more fragile global system.
Wow.
This article is from 2020.
Okay.
Were you hearing the phrase black swan back in 2020?
Well,
Regularly in the news.
No, not in the news. I myself knew what a black swan event was back when I went through Intel Analyst School. They talked about that.
Yes, that was one of the favorite buzzwords of the Intel community.
Yeah.
It surfaced right around 2004 as I was getting out.
I'm trying to remember when I think I went to Intel Analyst School in 2007.
2007?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the hog, the swine farm one in, where are the Mormons at? What state are they in?
Utah?
Yeah, it was in Utah.
I didn't know about that school. I mean, I knew there was a school there. I didn't know it was called the swine farm or the hog farm or whatever.
That's what we called it, because it always smelled like pig shit.
Oh, that's because there's pig farms in the
Yeah, it smelled like pig shit. You just got used to it.
Yeah.
Because I remember the guy running the school. We're PT in the morning. You guys smell that? Well, you won't smell it in 6 weeks when you leave.
Yeah.
Get used to
get
it.
over it.
Yeah.
Korea's the same way. The entire country smells like pig shit.
Yes.
They fertilize the fields with. I went through the Intel schools at Huachuca and San Angelo, Texas. We were out on a land nav standing on a ridge in Huachuca, and they have these things called javelinas.
Hmm.
Do you know the javelinas? They're pigs, and they're about this big.
Oh, yeah.
And they travel in packs of 4,000 to 5,000.
The archery targets.
We're standing on top of a ridge looking for our point, and two guys come running up the draw at our feet, down on the ground, about 15 feet down. They're being chased by these little javelinas, like 100 of them.
Wow.
That was pretty funny.
All right.
I've seen guys chased by pigs in the desert. So the important part about this article here is they're worming the word black swan in at a level where bored housewives are going to pick it up and talk about it. Now they could use it in movies like The Handmaid's Tale and insert that into your brain there. And I'm just using that as an example. I don't know if that actually happened, but that's what they'll do. And they work it into your head so that when you hear Black Swan, you know that the world is about to end and something terrible is going to happen.
Yes.
Nassim Nicholas Taleb is irritated, he told Bloomberg Television on March 31st, whenever the coronavirus pandemic is referred to as a black swan, the term he coined for an unpredictable, rare, catastrophic event in his best-selling 2007 book of the title, The Black Swan, was meant to explain why in a networked world we need to change business practices and social norms, not, as he recently told me, to provide a cliche for any bad thing that surprises us. Now, he didn't invent the phrase, but he did nail what they're doing. They needed a nice, cute phrase that people would say for a bad event that we didn't see coming.
Okay. Yeah.
They're eliminating terrorist attack. They're eliminating jihadis blowing things up because now it's a black swan.
Black Swan event. Because they're going to blame the next big shit on someone else.
I'm curious here.
Okay, here we go.
I'm curious.
Movie Black Swan.
When was that movie? That's interesting. Black Swan was put out in 2010.
Wow. Okay. Talk about pre-programming.
They're reaching back there.
Uh-huh.
And that just occurred to me, the movie Black Swan that came out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, it's a ballet movie, but now we're looking at things and events that are happening today and everything's being called Black Swan. How far back were they trying to trigger us?
Well, that's actually a good point because let's just be honest. There are alphabet agencies that have actually done a lot of these psychological experiments
Mockingbird.
On U.S. citizens in the past.
CIA admitted to doing exactly this.
Isaiah?
Yes.
Yeah.
The CIA.
Isaiah.
Go look for the Mockingbird tapes.
Yes.
This is exactly what the CIA said they would do. They would program society and would be satisfied when the population, everything that they actually believed was false.
You want to talk about the ultimate mind screw?
Yeah.
Wow.
And the movie The Black Swan came out in 2010. I will bet you dimes to dollars that those CIA personnel are still working in those studios and those newsrooms and still putting out stuff like this. Because here it is in 2020. Black Swan, the movie, came out in 2010. And they couch it as entertainment and they put it in places where people who are going to gossip. And that's the cosmopolitan housewives of New York who read The New Yorker.
So what you're saying is it's a it's a psyop. They're warming up a psyop.
Yes.
And right now we're at the crescendo.
Yes.
Because
I would agree with that.
We're going to see some major shit happen here in the next year, maybe 2 years. Who knows?
Now, the warning that the guy who wrote the book Black Swan, that he referred to appeared in a January 26 paper he co-authored with a couple of guys when the virus was still mainly confined to China. The paper cautions that owing to increased connectivity, the spread will be non-linear. That's standard with a disease that's contagious, by the way.
Yep. 2
key contributors to Taleb's anxiety. For statisticians, nonlinearity describes events very much like a pandemic, an output disproportionate to known inputs, owing to both unknown and unknowable inputs, into incubation periods in humans, random mutations, etc., or eccentric interaction among various outputs. Wet markets and airplane travel. Look, there's another buzzword. Remember when wet markets showed up? Or exponential growth from networked human contact, or all three. We know these things about viruses.
Well, hang on. Remember that movie Outbreak?
Yes.
Where they showed like the bat flying over and shitting in the soup and causing the whole fucking...
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we've got the wet market where they're selling bats and pangolins and all that other stuff.
What?
I mean, come on! This
movie?
I don't remember what it is.
Outbreak. 1995.
Yeah.
That was 1995.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's going back like 30 goddamn years.
So they didn't use black swan in that,
No.
but they were suggesting the idea of wet markets there. That's fairly obvious. The bat
Correct.
shitting in the soup and pangolins, etc.
Yeah.
They were obviously suggesting there's a whole
Man, I
my
just
research
unpeeled
brain
an
is going,
onion.
"Brr," that mapping tool that I use, that where I produce those maps.
Yeah.
Right now, my brain is going. Just like that too. My brain actually makes those noises. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. He used to live in the next room next to me, so I used to hear it.
It's not the only thing you heard.
Phrasing.
That phrasing. So we are actually at the 9:30 mark.
We got to start hitting the super chats.
We got to start hitting the super chats, but I want to sum this up real fast. Black Swan started as a literal reference to a black swan that nobody thought existed. It means something that everybody thought didn't exist or couldn't happen. That's all a black swan is. It has become a catastrophic event with terrible consequences. And the media is using the word and inserting it everywhere they can. So it gets into your head that now you use the phrase black swan event instead of terrorist attack. You'll notice the words terrorist attack are gone.
Correct.
Now anything bad will just be a black swan. This is neurolinguistic programming.
Yeah.
And an article from the New Yorker 2020 referring to the coronavirus outbreak as a black swan. I'm imagining if we could find the sources, you could probably relate the title of the movie Black Swan to this somehow. That sounds really conspiratorial and tinfoil hatty, but we've learned that all of those things are true.
But here's the crazy part.
Yeah.
There's 2 veterans in this room.
Yes.
And we're picking apart shit that they started doing 30 fucking years ago.
Yes.
And telling you it's coming to a crescendo here shortly.
Yes. That is correct.
Why in the hell hasn't anyone else picked up on this? Oh, that's right. Alex Jones did, and they called him a crackpot for decades. And most of the stuff he predicted is actually happening. Who knew? All right, let's get through some of these super chats.
The water is turning the frogs gay.
All right, we got here from Dung is Fun, $5. If it was a mad scientist, I would tailor a virus specifically to my enemies with the help of 23andMe, allegedly in Minecraft.
Allegedly in Minecraft.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's a possibility. There's not too many super chats on YouTube because I guess people are tired of giving YouTube money. One from Scene St. George. I know it's Sean, but I spell my name differently from now on. You're Scene St. George. Battledorf surprised the officer's wife you encountered didn't force you to salute her.
I was with a full bird colonel at the time. That officer's wife wasn't making anybody do nothing.
Well, first of all, let's just talk about officers' wives here for a second.
Okay.
I had to do a 12-mile ruck march because I would not obey my company commander's wife.
Oh.
And I gladly did it. And then I told the commander, you might as well make me do this every fucking day because I'm not doing that. I don't work for her. I work for you.
It's not a lawful order, first of all.
I know.
I have a similar story. This was really fast as well. Our adjutant was a captain. Our general came into town. The overall civil affairs general came into town. His wife came with him. Captain says, Sergeant Finley, your assignment today is take the general's wife shopping. I looked right at the captain. The general's standing right there. He's a 2-star. And I said, sir, that's an unlawful order. Ha! And the captain got red in the face. Sergeant, you're going to blink or sir, that's an unlawful order.
That's right.
The general laughs and goes, hey, Sergeant Finland. Yes, sir. I brought my wife with me and she'd really like to see the town. And I know you're fluent. Could you do me a favor and take her out shopping? Happy to, sir. The captain's like, what the hell? The general's like,
well, there's one. You're being ordered and you're being asked. 2 different things.
Yes.
All right, next one here. Count Chad the Impaler, 556. Good caliber.
Yeah.
What do you call it when your lily white cheating wife gives birth to a black baby? Ooh. A black spawn event.
A black spawn event. I I like that.
That's a good
That's
one.
good. We need to remember that.
Shame on you. Bad. All right, we're good.
That's.
You've been disciplined.
Are you in Rumble or YouTube?
I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
All right, hang on. We got. Let's see what else we got here. I think that might be it.
Oh
no, there's one here on YouTube. Dung is fun. I get so mad at people that I want to shit in my hand and clap in front of people. I don't know if it's going to hit me, but it started. It started, but I know it did.
Are you having a exorcist moment?
Yeah, no, it's just it's weird. He's basically saying he's going to shit in his hand and clap in front of people, and he doesn't care if it spills on him, which is cool. I mean, to each his own. I mean, I shit in a Pringles can.
Then.
I shit in a Pringles can once.
Yeah, that's true.
No one ever lets me forget it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I did like almost cause like an international incident, but no.
Law Dog says you told her that story, and she was just absolutely disgusted and fascinated all at the same time.
All right, last one here on YouTube. Dung is fun. I sent super chat at $20. Look into it, please. All right. It did show up here on YouTube, so I don't know.
We've seen that happen sometimes.
Yeah,
we've seen that happen sometimes.
If you sent a super chat in and we didn't see it, send it to us in email, and we'll try to read it either this stream or next one. All right, what are you going to cover? Rumble?
I'm in Rumble right now. We've got quite a few over here. MX Stilgar sends $1. Says once again 0 audio for the stream. Watching on the Brave browser on a Windows PC. Switched over to the hated Firefox browser, and the sound works just fine. Just saying. Unfortunately, that's a browser thing. We have 0 control over that.
Correct. Yeah.
Paladin BR sends us $5 and says, well, we've got the newest strain of highly pathogenic avian flu crossing into the bovine population of Texas and Kansas. This is the one that actually is killing waterfowl, talking about black swan events. I just hope the cows don't start shitting feathers. That would be weird.
Yeah, that'd be weird. But, if a cow is infected with that and you can still eat it. Why waste the meat?
Let's see. Big Town Mando sends us $2 and says, Battledorf, are you sure you're not a lieutenant? You're reminding me of a butter bar. Fight me. Straight up fight. Come on, let's go. You, me, Sandpit. Let's go.
Fight me.
Fight me. Dude called me a butter bar.
That's bad.
Whoa. Fight
me.
Shellback Stunt sends us $5 and says, sent you an email with some details of navigating large ships from what I can see from the video. All right, we'll take a look at that. That should be interesting. Another $1 from MX Stilgar says the bridge from Moon Island in Quincy, which is a peninsula, to Long Island, Boston Harbor, that was a tuberculosis facility over 100 years ago. Interesting.
Yeah.
Was demolished in 2015. I have never been to the New England area at all.
If they hit the Mackinac Bridge, Michigan would be fucked.
No, we've got ferries and boats and stuff. There was no Mackinac Bridge until 1954.
Okay.
Berserker Brad, 1983, $25. Thank you very much. Never shake the whore tree and expect the wife to fall out. True story. Yes. In modern day, men are shaking the wife tree and only whores are falling out.
I gotta get that in the book.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Yeah. No, that goes into the book for sure. Nick Coldis sends $20 and says, thank you. No, thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Rumble, if anybody from Rumble is out there listening, please give us a way to handle the
shifting
of the money, the super chats. Big Tom Mando sends another $2 and says, should we catch a few dozen black swans and release them in Beijing, asking for a fiend? I think you might have said friend.
Yeah.
Fiend. You typed fiend.
Yeah. Whatever.
What are we going to let black swans loose in Beijing for? They'll just eat them.
Yeah.
They're the ones who eat anything. The Chinese are freaking horrible about that. Net Guy, 1975 cents a dollar, says, here's a list of bridge crashes. Oh, okay. Article. Yeah, here's a good list of bridge crashes. I'm going to pull that a little bit later from the chat. Let's scrolling down. And while I'm scrolling here, here we go. Knote 72 cents, $2 says, years ago, I was building drones for FPV flying. What's FPV flying? You wouldn't believe the range on some systems, usually UHF gear. Some guys who knew what they were doing could build some that could fly over 50 miles.
God damn, that's dangerous as shit.
Dude, can you imagine if we had those when we were Lurst, though?
Oh my God.
A drone with a 50-mile range?
But here's the thing.
Oh.
This is my evil genius here.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. You build the drone with that kind of range.
Right.
All right. You launch it to the target area, and you have an individual with visual on the target with one of those VR goggle things, so he can literally fly it into the target like it's a missile.
They have that.
I know, but you could build that. A civilian could build that for about $1,500.
Probably.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. JDAMS has had that for
forever.
Yeah. That's what the JDAMS
But
does.
back in the day, JDAM, all that equipment you put in an aircraft is like, it used to be $5 to $10 million. Now Joe Blow the shitbag could do it with $1,500.
They were only about $200,000 a pop.
I know, but Joe, you listen. Joe shit the rag bag.
Do it for $50 now,
or for $1,500.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
SWLABR Slobber sends $5. Sitting in class in 1979 in a military school, I realized how effed up things were and that they could get worse. I decided to step aside because I knew that the only way to stop them was for society to fall. You, sir, are not wrong. Alucard 1776, $2. Atomic Killery. Well, here's the thing tonight. I don't know where all of the videos are. I hate to disappoint, and we will have to give you a rain check. But I don't know where they keep the videos.
Yeah.
Where Blake and Jimmy keep all of that stuff. I am not that guy.
Yeah. That's why we usually like to have a third guy to run.
Right, exactly. That's why we normally have one of those guys on deck. Blake, again, of course, is a 17th level wizard and can do all of this shit while brushing his teeth, taking a nap, and cooking dinner and watching his kid.
Yes, he can actually
do all of this all at the same time anyway.
Dude's a genius.
Benny D sends $2. Says Kamala Harris is aging in California. Did it help keep people past their served time for cheap labor?
Yes,
that's interesting.
That's a VP. That's right. VP did it.
Yeah.
What a cunt.
That's slave labor.
Yes, it is.
Slavery in the United States done by a black woman. How about that? Scrolling. Keep those doggies scrolling. We are down to MGTOW Mando finds us another $5 and says, Pop Crazy Theory, what do you think the odds are that a certain right-leaning political figure will expire in a crowded rally to cover up a JFK surprise haircut?
I would say the chances are pretty high. At least, over 50%.
I think it's too dangerous to assassinate him.
But you can't control the ass bags.
That's true. There is no controlling the ass bags. I said that earlier. A Hinckley event is probably very
ass bags are going to ass bag. I mean, what are you going to do?
Ass bags will always ass bag. Slobber for another $5. Think of the like button as a woman's tight, firm ass and spank it. Honey, I'll be home in about an hour.
All right.
Let's see here. Scrolling down. I know there's a couple more because I can see little bubbles pop on the top of the chat now, which appears to be a newer feature. MGTOW Mando for another $1. If you haven't yet read State of Fear by Michael Crichton, ever since I did, I've been looking deeper into things the media wants us to be afraid of. The media will direct you. The media wants to point you in a specific direction and keep your focus there. That's the biggest thing they want to do. And they want to create buzzwords in your head and remove words like terrorist attack from your mouth and replace it with fluffy black feathered creature. Isn't it pretty?
Yes.
Black Swan. Red Dead 73. I know that Red Dead reference from somewhere. $5. Thank you, Pop, for saving lives.
We're up to 543.
543.
And I believe we're the only channel on all of the video platforms on the planet that regularly fights against male suicide. Using
I
comedy.
don't know of any others myself. Additionally, you are the only one that I know of who actually has a count. All of the other ones are like, we do this and we do that, and they have no proof of what they do. Some of them here and there have built, like Wounded Warrior built a guy a house.
Mhm.
I know that. But those look more like showpieces, and there's no showpiece here. It's just Pop saving motherfuckers. True
Yep.
story.
With nothing more than words.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, we are still scrolling. We need a better way to scroll.
I have a feeling long after I'm dead, I'm going to wind up a movie.
That would be funny.
Hmm.
That would be funny.
Because let's face it, they have all these movies out there that are all complete bullshit. And very rarely do you actually come across something that's actually worthy of a movie.
That's true. That's true. What makes you worthy of a movie? The Pringles shit in a can alone is worth a movie. That's worth a movie. Just wanted to hear my name. Barrett McMusing throws $5. I hope we all live through this. Or do I?
Yeah,
Well, Barrett, I don't know.
There's a reason why I'm on the 65 and out plan.
Fanlam, Fan I am sends $1. Here's my YouTube super chat. YouTube channel Poor Man's Podcast just posted a vid called New York Woman Gets Poached by Man and Men Refuse to Help. It's glorious karma.
Well, if you're going to sit there and scream, hey, I don't need a man.
Punched, I would imagine that says.
Yeah, well, I don't need a man. Well, and, feminism is one. Men and women are equal. Fight your own goddamn battles.
Yeah, that's fair. Tantalum 180 sends us $5 and says, don't any animal or organism with prions disease. You have been warned. More coming on Thursday, guys. I'm imagining he means don't eat any animal or organism with prion disease.
Yes.
Okay, that's a fair statement.
And we have that mad deer shit going on. That's
been around Michigan for quite a while.
But that's a prion disease.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't fucking do that.
Yeah. Tomahawk sends $5 and says, Terrence, are you and Troop still planning to do a bug out bag video? Would love to compare the differences.
I covered a little bit of the bug out with the supporters on Sunday, but yeah, I could do another bug out bag. I build some bug out bags and sell them to individuals in the Pops Prepper group. I know I've neglected that for a while, but yeah, I mean, you never know when shit's going to go down, and you might only have enough time to do this and grab something from the back seat, and then you're on foot.
I've got a bug out bag
in
my office. I need to assemble an A and B bag, to be honest. I really need to do that. Fan I am sends $1 and says FPV. Oh, FPV drones means first person view. Thank you. Interesting. First person drones.
Those are the ones you can fly in.
Yeah. Okay. I see. Knote 72 sends $2 and says FPV equals first person view using long range control gear and see it first person with long range video gear and goggles. Sadly, I was better at building them than flying them. That would probably be me. Dung is fun sends us $1 and says, here's my conspiracy. All ships have a record of shipping containers and weight. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Someone lied about the weight of a shipping container. A ship will crash into that bridge. So what was in that? That is actually feasible. I know that the weight affects the movement of the ship.
Yeah, just
I
like
know that to be true in a lot of ways. How fast it will turn or not.
Yes.
How much distance it needs to slow down a lot.
Yep.
The big aircraft carriers that I know of require 2 miles to turn.
Wow.
And bonk. We have reached the end of the Rumble chats. Do we have any?
I will cover some on Odyssey.
Oh, wait. We got one more $1 here from Alucard 1776. Battledorf, where's the forge? Pop needs a new sword. I'm the dwarf who makes the beer and the mead.
The mead is fucking good, too.
There you go.
All right. So we got a $500
ass bag. What?
$500 here from Francis Lachataine. Sender's name, Francis Lachataine. Address is email, Redonkulas12. Okay, Lachataine, I have seen that email. I've reviewed it. We are going to probably have to do a video layer on that because it's quite extensive. And good luck on your writing your screen. You're writing what is that? A screenplay? Screenplay. Yeah, he's
$500.
Yeah, he's out on a walkabout right
this
now.
Has to do this though. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Yeah, and we actually sat down and had dinner with him when he was on his walkabout, and he's a great guy. Just like everyone else, just trying to figure shit out here on the earth, and I think he's doing the right thing to maintain some sanity, because let's face it, sometimes life gets overwhelming, and you just need to.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
And go do something else.
Fan IM sends another $1 with a best book for bug out bags link there. That's handy for those in the chat who need to know more about bug out bags. Don't want to wait for a video. Grab that link that Fan IM just threw up there. And McStilgar threw out another $1 and says 1,015 viewers on Rumble at 9:48 PM EDT and only 286 likes. You douchebag viewers suck. These are my words, not Pop's. Smash the thumbs up.
I got one here on Odyssey for 20. Thanks, Pop, and Mr. Battledore for another informative episode.
Ooh, well, thank you very much. We have Dara Sumkote throws us $50. We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Thank you so much, man.
And wants singing Pop. Unfortunately,
is it in there?
I don't know, because there are a lot of videos in here. I explained when we started the super chats.
You're not up to speed on this.
I am not that guy. We need Blake or Jimmy. I'm terribly sorry. You have earned a rain check.
Thank you.
Come back next week and just find a way to make us notice, and we will get you your singing.
And we'll unfuck this whole thing.
I have to learn how to do this better.
It's okay.
I got the you're not worthy parts though.
All right, we got some cash apps here too.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Now, let me get to those. Hang on. La, la, la. Okay, we got a cash app from Tony Moist.
Yeah.
Or Most.
Yeah.
$10. Thank you so much.
Thank
There's
you
no
very much.
comment. That's like the one word that pisses off all women. Moist.
Moist. I have a Nancy Pelosi meme with moist.
Please don't play that one. Here's another cash app from Crusader Nate. Let's see, $10 from Crusader Nate for the Battle Dwarf, just because. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Sweet nectar.
Thanks,
Let's see, another one from Crusader Nate for $5.
Wow.
For you say Black Swan, I say statistical anomaly.
That's pretty much
in
the ballpark.
All right, we got Mark Vomiers here for 15. For checkout veteran biker on YouTube. Okay.
I think I've seen one of that guy's videos.
I'm trying to get Angry Cop on the show. I know his former company commander.
Okay.
I'm going to try to get him on the show next Tuesday to cover basically he started a organization to hold military leaders accountable for the egregious decisions they make.
Okay.
Because let's face it, there are some commanders out there who do some of the most stupidest shit and get away.
It's not so.
And get away scot free.
I know.
All right. Like one would be Dina.
Yeah, I am brutally, painfully aware.
We got a phone from Crypto Loki, $10. Thank you very much. It says, thank you for what you do, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, what did we do to you?
Come on, man. But I mean, what are you going to do? And yes, there needs to be, if you're going to maintain a volunteer army, you got to have accountability for the bad leaders who do bad shit, because we're actually seeing the fruits of this right now because nobody's enlisting. One, because, we have a dictator in chief. Two, we're literally allowing people with mental illness to command people, which is a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Three, listen, you can call me an istophobe idiot all you want, but if I ever get activated and put into an infantry unit, I will not take orders from a female infantry officer. I'm sorry.
No, we discussed this earlier before the show.
Yeah, I will not do it.
Yep.
I am the man that I am, and I know myself. I would not take orders from a trans officer, and I wouldn't take orders from a female infantry officer. Now, if I get put in a support role or something, and I have like a battalion commander or battalion company commander, that's a whole different story.
You get stuck in the JT.
I've had female commanders before, and a couple of them, well, one was fucking excellent, but she had 4 brothers.
That was my one at Civil Affairs.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. That colonel that I was talking about.
And then the other one was pretty good. And, I had her at the 403rd. She was a little emotional at times, but her heart was in the right place. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If your heart is in the right place, I will move heaven and earth for you.
Yes. Same.
And that's what I did for her.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of them, mediocre or just incompetent. And I've seen quite a few incompetent.
And a couple maliciously incompetent ones.
Yeah. The Dina. I'm not going to say her full name because I want to get sued, but she was maliciously incompetent. In my opinion, and according to the IG that did the investigation on her.
Yeah, we got Tantalum 180 over here throws another $2. Battledorf, watch Blake in the background on Thursday. 4 Thursdays in a row. We need more captains. That's fair. You make a valid point. Alucard 1776, $1 mead. I make 10 gallons of mead at a time, by the way. Cliff 3188 sends $2, says, Pop, enjoy your reprieve from the poolside Pelosi Killery, you singing all that other videos we enjoy seeing you cringe at. There's always next time.
Now listen, okay, first of all,
will not forget.
Steve has known me for a decade and a half.
Yeah.
And I get annoyed at sometimes, but I don't stay angry long, especially if it's funny.
Yes.
Like literally, I'll be like, oh yeah.
The Pop singing one is hysterical.
Oh
I don't care. I don't care.
My buddy fell off the toilet.
Yeah.
He was laughing so hard.
That is straight up one of the funniest things I have ever seen in my life. Slobber sends us another $10 and says, all lesbian scrotum collecting unit to my left, all gay ass raping unit to my right. Ladies, gentlemen, the field is yours.
Yeah, that's another thing I noticed. Well, it started right around 2005, 2006. There was just an insane amount of sexual assault investigations. And
oh yeah, I remember when that started.
And let's be honest, okay. And I've seen this happen several times. You get a female E4, she starts banging people that are in charge, and they go easy on her or look the other way for a bunch of shit, and then the minute they get called to the carpet, they throw up the the SA flag, and then everyone involved is screwed.
One of our guys got hit with that, and it almost killed him.
Yeah,
and it was an ugly chick in the mess hall, no less, and he didn't want to touch her because she was ugly, so she claimed he raped her.
Wow.
And they almost destroyed his career, transferred him out of the unit, the whole 9 yards, stripped his clearance.
Wow.
Sent him to the headquarters company at division level. But by the time the investigation was done, it came out that she lied. And by that time, he was pretty broken.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if that happens to you and you get found it's a lie or unfounded, you immediately turn around and drop an IG complaint on everyone in your chain of command who nailed you to the cross.
Yeah, we didn't know that stuff at the time because we were mostly small unit and we had no experience with any of that at all.
Yeah, and listen, when I was in, I mean, I did not have a black belt in administrative violence until I had to, get my final kata with the Dina thing.
Yeah.
But I've always been pretty good at the regs.
I was pretty good, but when I got hit, it was a complete surprise.
Yeah.
Slobber throws another $10 at us and says, Dune Fish Speakers honored Matra. I'm not entirely sure what to make of that, but I am intrigued by fish speakers. You might take a look at YouTube again. Take another look at YouTube. I feel like something is going on there.
We got I got the last one I read was from Dung is Fun in regards to the $20. That's the last one I have. Let me refresh it. Maybe it's effing up.
Meanwhile, Dung is Fun is over here with $1 saying, I am a lesbian trapped inside a man's body. What do I do? Thank God for Rumble. I can actually say something I want to. Be funny.
Well, YouTube, I think, is not long for this world.
I'm inclined to agree.
Well, we have Alex Bettino. See, here's my conspiracy theory. If you want to bring the U.S. to a standstill, take out the bridges.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You are not wrong.
That's that's kind of creepy, but yeah,
Yep.
totally true. Let me check. Are you on top of Rumble?
I am on top of Rumble. We are good to go.
We got MGTOW TV. So,
Okay, take a look.
I don't know how to pull out the chats for MGTOW, so I'll do the best I
I
can
don't
here.
know either.
We got here from a crazy uncle, $10. Here is a Black Swan event because we never thought we would see it. Men using makeup, fillers, and surgeries to look like fake women. And we also have women using makeup, filters, and surgeries to end up looking like fake women.
Yeah, that's a true story. Paladin BR threw us another $10 here. Says it's been almost 20 years, but if I recall correctly, the carrier radius of 2 miles only applies if she's hauling ass, especially if she decides to play with the screw RPM from one of the guys who actually spun them. Nice, thank you.
We got one here for $1 from Single for Life. The CRISPR technology is very easy to create a bio. If you don't see a message other than this, it means you need to restart the app. Okay. Yeah, MGTOW TV does get jacked up a little bit.
I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to say it, man. I'm just going to say it. Bro, I love you, man, but when you read, it's like rain pop. There's this flat monotone, and it just reminds me of Dustin Hoffman as Rain Pop.
Somebody's gonna make that deep fake, you son of a bitch.
I know.
Oh. All right.
I know.
Single for Life. Before I retired, I was one of many responded to animal infections in 2013. Salmon ISA Newfoundland,
Yikes.
2014 avian influenza in British Columbia, 2016 TB in cows in Alberta.
Wow.
I also monitored mad cow disease and deer chronic wasting disease. Holy shit, that is scary. Thank you for that. Huh?
Yeah.
You
No,
will
that's
fill
good
my night
information.
with
That's good
productive nightmares until the end of time.
There you go. Alucard 1776 sent us another $1 and said, I hope you two goes to Helheim forever. Can't really blame him for saying that. Suze McCarley sends us $5 and says, if you're hiring tech morons, I can help.
She's good people. I met her. I met her a couple times. She's a good person.
Tomahawk sends us another $5. Battle Dwarf, you mentioned bee. Do you keep bees? No, but I have a friend who does. I just got another hive after 15 years and started breeding chickens this year. I now have my property cleared. We just bought it 2 years ago. My chickens are now established. My hens are laying well. This year, one of my goals is to get hives. I have a space cleared for the bees.
All right. Ghost him hard for $1. Brandon O'Connell talks about these kind of Black Swan events and have done it for years. Maybe you could try to get him on the show. He's not coming on the show, man. Come on. Listen, man, for the most part, I think the most we've ever had watching a stream at one time was like 3,300, 3,500, and that was the president debate. Usually
That's a pretty good number.
No, but usually we're between 1,200 and 2,200.
Okay.
You're not going to get those higher level guys to come down and talk with us on our show. So, you can always ask them. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just improbable. That's all.
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. With that said, I will see if any of my old channels work, and I will try to reach out to General Flynn and see if I can make that happen.
All right. Understood. I think, is that all we got on MGTOW? I think we're good here.
We're good on Rumble at the moment.
All right, hang on.
And I don't know how to make you the primary camera, and it's absolutely just causing me fucking hives.
First of all, these pictures on MGTOW TV, if you're not a member of this, you're missing out, man. Because that's a good derriere. There's an anime picture here. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
See, I literally married the captain of the cheerleader team, so I have no need for any of that.
Okay. I always enjoy looking at
that's
good.
Fine. No, that's fine. That stuff is there for a reason.
Yeah. Let's see. We got.
But I married a Betty Page lookalike.
Okay. Let's see. I think we're good on MGTOW TV. All right. I think we're done.
I do not know how to make you the full screen. I think I might have an option. I'm going to do this.
What?
Hang on.
Don't screw it up.
I'm not going to screw it up. I'm not going to screw it up. Let's see if I can make this.
That's you.
That's me.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now you have 2 cameras.
Oh, wait. I hit remove. Why did I hit remove? Add to stage. Oh my God. That's fantastic. I have fucked everything right in the pooper.
That's all right. Not a big deal. Just put mine back on. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
There we go. I've got everybody in the right place. And now when I do this, it should work. Are you ready?
I'm ready. All right. Time for the safety brief.
What a shit show.
Listen, man. They come here for the information, the busting balls, and the jokes. I mean, that's for the most part.
That's before you get started. Slobber $10. Worked at 3 universities, and we'll share. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Safety briefing. All right. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and swim. It's not going to work out for you. If you absolutely must fornicate, wear a condom. Take it with you, or flush it down the toilet and watch it go all the way down there, because you never know. Rack up, pack up, and stack up, because there's safety in numbers. Maintain your situational awareness, because if you're going to be attacked, something in the environment will be different. And if you have to fight, do everything in your power to run away first. If you can't, don't go to the ground, because that's where you get mobbed up and stomped out. All right? I want to see you guys next week or on Thursday, and I'm tired of bearing you. So do not make permanent solutions to temporary problems. That is all.
Dorf is NSTR.